Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parvin. Friends, let us continue with the HSTR 2015 maths question paper. In the previous class, we have solved problems till question number 50. In this class, let us start with question number 51. I want to clear one major doubt which aspirants still have. This is for the new aspirants who are watching our video for the first time and who have come across our Unfog YouTube channel for the first time. Friends, HSTR has MCQs in the exam. There is no descriptive part. You will have two papers in your exam, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 will have the GK part and current affairs also will be asked in GK. You will have mental ability, you will have computer knowledge and so on. Paper 2 is a subject specific. So if you are a PM method aspirant, then you will have physics and mathematics questions in paper 2. 50 from maths part and 50 from physics part. In that also 10 questions will be from the methodology part for maths and physics. Okay. So friends, this is the right time for you all to start your preparation because we can expect a recruitment any time soon as the CNR rule are also published now in the Rajya Patrike. We have made a video on that also. If you have not watched it, please explore this YouTube channel and watch it. Apart from that, you will have many useful classes for mathematics and science for HSTR, GPSTR and TET also. So if you are an aspirant who is preparing for any of these teacher recruitment exams, then this channel is for you. Only thing is that you have to explore our YouTube channel because we have many classes which are freely available here. I am mentioning this because for paid classes, even now aspirants come to us and ask for demo classes. We wonder how they came to know about our WhatsApp number or Telegram group. Friends, please first watch our free classes. Then only decide whether you also want to take our paid classes or no. Because if you are new to our channel, then it is must for you all to know about us first. Right? So that should be the normal procedure for any aspirant to take any of our courses. So on this note, let us start discussing these questions. I really hope that you all are taking these classes seriously because once the notification comes, you will have less than 2 months for the exam. So please don't wait for the notification. Start preparing right now if you have not started preparing. And if you are already preparing, then just speed up your preparation because this is the right time for you all to prepare for the exam. Later after notification, you can have thorough revision at that time. Okay. So on this note, first question of today's class. Now this question is very simple and this is from chapter Basic Concepts of Algebra. See this question. If a by 3 is equal to b by 4 is equal to c by 7, then the value of a plus b plus c by c is. So here you can have a normal procedure which we always discuss, that you can equate this each ratio to a constant k, and then you can further proceed with the simplification to get the value of the given expression. So this is one method, the regular method. I will show you a shortcut method. That shortcut method will make things very much easy for you, even to save time also, and you can do things in your mind so that your answer also doesn't go wrong. So what is the question? Basically here they are giving a ratio, right? A is to b is to c. This is equal to 3 is to 4 is to 7. See, just a representation of the question in a different manner will make things so easy. See here with this, what did a become? 3. B became 4, C became 7, right? So now I have to find A plus B plus C by C, right? So I will just substitute. A is 3, B is 4, C is 7 upon C, which is 7. So this will give me 14 by 7 and my answer is 2, option 1. Right? So this is also a normal common procedure. This is the more easier one which I thought. Okay, both are same only 1 or 2 steps are different. Here we are treating first the ratios as equal to k. Then again we are substituting these values including the k. Now here in the second step, we are not using the concept of k. Directly we are substituting and getting the answer. Okay. Next, question number 52. The factors of x to the 4 plus 4y to the 4 are. So you have 4 options. One will be the correct answer here. This question is also from our basic concepts of algebra chapter. You understand the concept of factors, right? For example, if you have 6, you got 6 by multiplying 2 and 3, right? 2 into 3. So 2 and 3 you can split with the multiplication sign in the between. The 2 and 3 are factors of 6. Like that only you have to find the factors for x to the 4 plus 4y to the 4 here. Okay. So what is the normal procedure? That I will show you first. We have x to the 4 plus 4y to the 4. This you can also write as x square whole square plus 2y square whole square, right? Now we can add and subtract this with the 2xy whole square, right? So you will get x square whole square plus 2y square whole square plus 2x square y square minus 2x square y square, right? Now this looks like a square plus b square plus 2ab, right? Which is equal to a plus b whole square, right? So I will write it here. A plus b whole square formula. X square plus 2y square whole square. Right here our a was x square. Our b was 2y square. Minus this is remaining here again, right? It is 2xy whole square, right? This again looks like a square minus b square, right? Which is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So now again let us split this equation using this formula. So you get x square plus 2y square plus 2xy into x square plus 2y square minus 2xy. So this is our factors of x to the 4 plus 4y to the 4. So option 4 will be the correct answer here. Okay. So this was our normal procedure. What is the best shortcut to remember here? You have to remember this as a formula. A to the 4 plus 4b to the 4. The formula will be a square plus b square plus 2ab into a square plus b square minus 2ab. If you remember this as a direct formula, then you don't need to solve this problem. Directly this is in the form of a to the 4 plus 4b to the 4. So your option 4 will be the correct answer here. Okay, clear, right? So this way you can save your time by adding this identity into your algebraic identities list. Next, question number 53. This question is also from basic concepts of algebra. The question is, if 2x plus y is equal to 3 and xy is equal to 1, the value of x plus y to the x minus y. See, very simple thing. Given is xy is equal to 1, right? So here the most common simple values, if you have x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1, then xy will be equal to 1, right? So just substitute and see. You put x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. 1 plus 1 whole to the 1 minus 1. It will become 2 to the 0. And anything to the power of 0 will be 1. So our correct answer will be option 2. Very simple, right? So this way you have to apply simple logics and you can save time and get the correct answer in your exam. Next, question number 54. The LCM of 2 by 5, 6 by 25, 8 by 35 is LCM of fractions is equal to LCM of numerators upon HCF of denominators. So if you know this formula, then within no time you can find the answer to this question. So what is the LCM of numerators? 2, 6 and 8. If you want to find the LCM, what you will do? You will see what are the factors here, right? 2 1s are, 2 3s are, then 2 4s are. So basically 3 4s are 12, 12 2s are 24 will be the LCM. What about the HCF? HCF you have to find for 5, 25 and 35, right? So for 5 you have 5 into 1. For 25 you have 5 into 5 into 1, and then for 35 you will have 5 into 7, right? So which is the common number here among these three? The common number is only 5, right? So what will be the HCF of 5, 25 and 35? The HCF will be 5 here. right? So LCM was 24 for the numerators and HCF is 5 for the denominators. So 24 by 5 will be the correct answer here. So basically you should be knowing this formula to solve this type of problem. Next, question number 55. Now this question is from polynomials. The question is, the polynomials 2x cube minus 5x square plus x plus a and ax cube plus 2x minus 3 when divided by x minus 2 leave the remainders r1 and r2 respectively. The value of a if r1 is equal to r2 is. So basically they have given two polynomials. Let that be p of x and q of x. Okay. So what is the first polynomial? 2x cube minus 5x square plus x plus a, and the second polynomial is ax cube plus 2x square minus 3. Now when these two polynomials are divided by x minus 2, the remainders are r1 and r2, and these r1 and r2, if they are equal, you should find the value of a here. This is the question. Okay. Now if x minus 2 is used to divide means x should be equal to 2, right? So what you have to do now? You have to substitute p of 2 and q of 2 in the given polynomials, right? So when you substitute, you will get some equations which will be equal to each other because the remainders are same here, right? So 2 into, in place of x I have to write 2 here like this, plus 2 plus a, and here also in place of x I will write 2 here like this. Okay. If you do simplification, here you will get a minus 2 and here you will get 8a plus 5. Now these two should be equal because r1 is equal to r2. So a minus 2 is equal to 8a plus 5. Now if I simplify, I'll write like this, right? Like this. So I have minus 7a is equal to 7 or a is equal to minus 1. So option 1 will be the correct answer here. Which one among the following is always factor of x to the power n minus 1? So that is also a polynomial only. See. Here they are telling x to the power n minus 1, right? So just to put x is equal to 1. If you put, you will get 1 to the power n minus 1. This is equal to 0, right? But one concept you should remember, that if a polynomial becomes 0 at x is equal to 1, then what will be the factor? X minus 1 will be the factor, right? So our answer will be x minus 1 here. Right, in the previous problem also we treated x minus 2 is equal to 0, right? So that's why we told x is equal to 2. But if you know that x is equal to 2, it means that x minus 2 is equal to 0, right? Like that only happened here. If x is equal to 1, it means that x minus 1 is equal to 0. So that is always the factor of x to the n minus 1. Okay, clear, right? Next, question number 57. This question is from Surds. The product of cube root of 9 plus cube root of 16 minus cube root of 12 and its conjugate surd is. So you have to find the product of this entire thing and its conjugate. So that is the question here. So what you have to do here? Now I will just rewrite this. See, 9 I can write as 3 square, right? Whole to the 1 by 3 I will write. 16 I can write as 4 square, right? Whole to the 1 by 3 I will write. And here I have cube root of 12, right? So in place of 12 I will write the 4 into 3 or 3 into 4. So 3 to the 1 by 3, 4 to the 1 by 3. Now this is looking like a square plus b square minus ab, right? If I see inside the numbers, inside the bracket, if I see. Now seeing this equation, I get something in mind that we have an identity with a cube plus b cube, which is equal to a plus b into a square plus b square minus ab. So here my a will be equal to 3 to the 1 by 3 and b will be equal to 4 to the 1 by 3. 3 to the 1 by 3 plus 4 to the 1 by 3. So this is the rationalizing factor because we want the conjugate surd also, right? So here I have to do the product of this surd, the given surd and its conjugate surd, right? So its conjugate surd is this. Now, okay. So what is the first thing? This part, right? A square plus B square minus AB part. What is that? I will just rewrite like this. 3 to the 1 by 3 whole square plus 4 to the 1 by 3 whole square minus 3 to the 1 by 3, 4 to the 1 by 3. This is our question, right? So this is our question which we have written in a simplified manner. With this, I have to multiply its conjugate. What is the conjugate? Just now I have found. It is 3 1 by 3 plus 4 1 by 3. So this is like a square plus b square minus ab into a plus b, right? So what is the formula? A plus b into a square plus b square minus ab. It is a cube plus b cube. What is a cube now? 3 to the 1 by 3 whole cube. What is b cube now? 4 to the 1 by 3 whole cube. Now 3's will get cancelled in the numerator, in the powers, right? This and this will get cancelled. So our answer will be 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So option 2 will be the correct answer here. Okay. So little bit of this was because a very different type of problem. This is where you have to find the conjugate surd. This is possible only if you know this identity, or else it is not possible to solve this problem. Next, question number 58. Now this question is from polygons. The question is, if the sum of the interior angles of a polygon is 6 straight angles, then the number of sides in polygon will be. So we have this formula, number of straight angles in a polygon will be n minus 2. Okay. So here what is n? N is number of sides. So how many sides are there? That only I have to find. But straight angles they have given, it is 6. So here I will write 6. This is equal to n minus 2, or n is equal to 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. So n is number of sides. So option 3 will be the correct answer here. Next question. This question is from quadratic equation chapter. If the sum of roots of the equation x square minus bx minus c is equal to 0 is same as the sum of their squares, which one is true they are telling. So what is the equation they have given here? The quadratic equation, it is x square minus bx minus c is equal to 0. Here they are telling that the sum of the roots means alpha plus beta, is equal to sum of their squares, means it is equal to alpha square plus beta square. So this is the condition they are giving in the question. We have to find that if this condition is there, then which of the 4 options is correct. Okay. So if you match this with a quadratic equation, the standard form is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? So according to this, a will be 1, b will be minus b, and c will be minus c, right? Now we should know some important points like sum of the roots for a quadratic equation, alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b by a, and product of the roots will be alpha into beta, which is equal to c by a, right? Now they are telling that the sum of the roots is equal to sum of the squares of the roots, right? First let us find out the sum of the roots, alpha plus beta. This is minus b by a, right? So what is b here? It is minus b, right? So minus of minus b, a is 1. So what will be alpha plus beta? It will be b. We will also want the product of the roots. I will tell you why. First let us calculate this. This is equal to c by a, right? What is c? It is minus c. A is 1. So alpha into beta will be equal to minus c, right? So let us keep this aside. Now if I want to continue with this, in the right hand side I have alpha square plus beta square. Remember the formula a plus b whole square? This is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab, right? In that, if I want to calculate only a square plus b square, what I will do? I will write like this, right? Alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta. I want to calculate only this one. So I will send 2ab in the other side. It will become minus 2ab, right? That is what I have done here. So here again I will write alpha plus beta. Now I can substitute the values, right? Alpha plus beta is b here. So I will write b here. And here also I will write b inside like this, minus 2 into, now I will need alpha into beta value. This is minus c, right? So minus c. So b is equal to b square plus 2c. Or I can also write like this, right? B square plus 2c is equal to b. So option 1 will be the correct answer here. Okay, you have to be careful. See, this one looks the same, but it is not same. If I put all this one side, I will get b minus b square minus 2c is equal to 0. That equation is not the same. So this is the wrong answer. Option 1 will be the correct answer here. Okay. Next, question number 60. So this question is from triangles chapter. The question is, a triangle has area x square plus 2x and one of its sides is x plus 2. The corresponding altitude of triangles is, so here they are asking something related to the area of the triangle. So you should be knowing the formula of area of a triangle, which is equal to half into base into height. Base means this one, right? So this one will be base. What is height? This is height. This is also known as altitude. Okay, so here they are telling that the area of the triangle is x square plus 2x and one of its side is x plus 2. So half into one of its side. It can be a base, right? X plus 2. I have to find the corresponding altitude. So h I have to find, right? So I can put 2 here. I can send. So I will get 2 into x square plus 2x is equal to h into x plus 2, right? Or h is equal to 2 into x square plus 2x by x plus 2, right? I will take x outside in the numerator. So I will get x plus 2 again inside the bracket. Below I have x plus 2. So this will get cancelled. So what is my altitude now? Remaining is 2x. So correct answer will be option 1 here. Okay, clear, right? So we have discussed 10 questions from mathematics part, which is the main chapter. You got many questions in this part, means it is a basic concepts of algebra. So you have to focus more on algebra, remember. Okay, rest questions were from surds also, from triangles also, from quadratic equation also, from polygons also. One question was there, but from algebra many questions were there. So remember that this is an important chapter. Okay. Okay friends, before signing off, I want to remind you all that if you all watch these previous year question paper solving videos carefully and completely, and if we get good response, then we will make a nice model paper which we can expect those type of questions this time in HSTR. So that type of questions we will make model paper and we will solve it here in our free classes channel, Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. But for that we want good response from you all. Okay. Okay friends, if you are interested to join our paid classes, you can mail us or you can write message to us in WhatsApp. I really hope that these classes are helping you. Thank you. All the best. Bye.